So this is the V60 from the folks over at LG, their third attempt at a dual screen smartphone. How does it compare? Let's take a look. LG has come a long way since the V line's first introduction into the market in 2015 with the V10, a larger sibling to the G line of smartphones that has had many ups and downs. I really like the direction that LG took with this V line, making a rugged phone with great specs. From the 5.7-inch screen with Gorilla Glass 4 and that secondary front display. It had replaceable back covers in different colors, along with the unique placement of the volume rockers and sleep wake button. This phone was extremely underrated. The V20 went a totally different direction with the aluminum back, which I wasn't really a fan of after using for a while. They did add a fingerprint sensor on the back, but gone was the volume rockers. The phone did upgrade the camera big time with a 2-lens system, as well as adding a digital to analog converter system for much better audio on your headphones. Then along came the V30, which made some huge changes to the design of the phone. Gone was the removable back, which was needed because LG added wireless charging. The design was definitely not as rugged as the V10, but it looks solid and clean. With the V40, the camera game was stepped up even more, adding 3 lenses, standard, telephoto, as well as an ultra-wide. Also, the front-facing camera now had 2 lenses, a standard and a wide angle. Beyond that, the specs were pretty much just an incremental upgrade. Oh, and that notch. The V50 did introduce 5G, but sadly, there really wasn't much else spec-wise to write home about. However, LG also introduced a unique feature that has been tried many different ways from companies, that dual screen system. It wasn't talked about very much in the beginning, but it's something that was definitely a step in the right direction. So after the V50, we take a little bit of a detour. LG did introduce the G8X, also with dual screen capabilities. Unfortunately, it didn't seem like it was really sold all that well or talked about, because I have seen the G8X for sale without the dual display, something that I think made the phone a much better quality phone just in the standard G8X alone. And that brings us to the star of the show, the V60. Probably the biggest jump in specs since the V20, I think. So, what do you get? Well, you've got 2 boxes you're going to get. The dual screen we'll look at in a moment. In the main box, you've got a microfiber cleaning cloth, the phone, a bunch of directions you're not going to read, ooh, and a SIM tray removal tool, a wall wart,
Roadhouse,
and a USB-C to USB-C cable. In the other box, you just got the dual screen display and an adapter to charge it through the phone. And now, for your listening pleasure, some tech ASMR. Taking a look around the device, not a whole lot has changed between the V50 and the V60. On the camera part here, it is raised ever so slightly. The previous generation did have a flat design. And on the front part of the screen, gone is the wide notch, replaced with the quick scoop out and the single lens up front. It does come in 2 colors, this beautiful ivory color, as well as a dark blue that looks just as good. And on the left side, you've got your volume rockers, as well as your Google Help button. On the bottom, yes, you do have a headphone jack, the USB-C port, the microphone, as well as the speaker. Of course, this beautiful screen is 6.8 inches and has a resolution of 1080 by 2460. Overall, I really like the fit and finish of this phone. It feels great in the hand. Yes, it is a little bit taller, so I'm going to have to be careful when using this. I'm going to have to use both hands. So just a few of the other notable specs. Obviously, the camera upgraded big time on the main shooter. It's 64 megapixels, f1.8, which is a 27mm style lens. The second lens here is a 13 megapixel, f1.9, 12mm ultra wide, and then of course we have a third lens which is a little bit different. It's a 0.3 megapixel shooter. We'll have to test that out and see what good that is. The video can shoot up to 4320 at 30 frames per second. If you want a little bit higher, you can shoot at 2160 and get 30 and 60 frames per second. The front lens is a 10 megapixel shooter, f1.9, giving you a decent 30mm lens. The front camera can also shoot video in 2160p up to 30 frames per second and has a gyro EIS system, which is electronic image stabilization. So with these camera specs, how do you think it'll hold up against, say, the iPhone 11 Pro Max? Comment down below if you want to see a video on these two, or give the video a thumbs up. It's got a 5000 milliamp battery. It is running Android 10.0 with a Qualcomm Snapdragon 865 The CPU is an octa-core, and the GPU is an Adreno 650. So it does come with 8 gigs of RAM and has 128 gigs of storage with a micro SDXC expandable slot for more storage. It is quick charge capable as well as wireless charging, something that people are using more and more these days. As I mentioned at the top of this video, the secondary display case was introduced with the V50 and used on the G8X as well. A little has changed with the case design, but the main components stay the same. The front of the case still has that small display at the top, which allows you to view time and notifications, like when the messages are received and while the dual screen is closed. It does look great with the full mirror finish. However, yes, it still is a fingerprint magnet. With the unique 360 hinge system, you still have full access to the volume rockers and Google Assistant. Also, LG must have listened to their customers and made the camera cutout on the back much smaller, unlike the previous generations. On the inside of the display is the exact same spec of the phone, so you don't have to feel like one display is better or worse than the other. Some dual screen features available are the LG Gamepad, which can be used on one screen as a virtual joystick or controller for mobile games. Dual mirror mode is actually pretty cool. You can use the second screen as a live viewfinder while taking pictures. The LG Smart Keyboard uses an edge-to-edge keyboard for a laptop feel, so you don't feel so squished typing on the screen. There is a floating menu on your phone that allows you to pull up an extension window, and that way you can have control on how the secondary display reacts. In the display settings of the phone, you can enable a number of Google apps for wide view. Hopefully we do see more third-party vendors utilize this. Some of the functions on the Google ones that I've tested out in the beginning here aren't that good. So YouTube, I'm talking to you. So I am going to put this through its paces and let you guys know in about a month what I think of this phone. In the meantime, if you want to hit me up with any questions, you're more than welcome to. Now, I do like the additional protection that this does offer the phone while it's in its case, but I'm not always going to want to use this. I do want to take it out. So check out this video right here for some cases for Android that are available. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you get my review when I do this. So you guys take it easy and have a good day.